Stories. Book 8. Kimmie was in her room, listening to The Weekend. He's what you want, he's what you need, what you need, what you need. Gripping her 14-inch dildo with both hands, only able to get 10 inches inside of herself, stroking away. Thinking about Mark, who passed away a few years back on that day in a car accident. Her first boyfriend, who was really sweet and nice to her. Kimmie could feel the dildo in her stomach, feeling so pleasure but hated having to do the work herself. Top of her covers was damp from the squirting a few times, laying in her own puddle of doing. I really don't want to have to go to work today, she said in her head. She was a professor in math, getting ready for work. She said, I only have one class today. 4 hours will go by in a breeze. She threw a trench coat over herself and put on pink panties. No bra, just a trench coat. An hour later, class begun. Seeing who attended out of her 50-student class, Ruckus was one of her students. Says, you look lovely today. Maybe I'll learn enough math and play with your numbers. Kimmie responded, please take a seat. I'm not in the mood. Ruckus tries to respond, but she cussed him off. Please, she said, kinda snappy. This was also the same day Mark died. Kimmie also sniffed a little coke to get her going. 2 hours later, into class, 2 kids was on the whiteboard arguing about a math equation. 7 plus 5 times 56 minus 13. Kimmie, aggravated, jumps up behind her desk, takes off her trench coat, forgetting she only had panties on. The whole class erupted in a surprised roar. Miss Kim, marry me. Your body is amazing. Comments flying from all over the room. As she stood there for a split sec, she grabbed her trench coat, but it was already too late. The whole 44 students that attended saw the beautiful white skin, double D breasts that sat up all perky, round big nipples, a nice bubble butt with a red snake going up her leg biting her private part. Also, her nipples was pierced, and her belly button, blonde long hair, blue eyes. She calmly sits down and says, everybody be quiet. I'll give you all A's if you don't let this leave the classroom. Everyone agreed. Most of them was failing and needed that A to graduate. But she warned, if this gets out, I will fail all of you and make some of my friends who are in other classes who are your teachers fail y'all as well. Then she says, look at me, and opened back up her trench coat. Try me. Whistles from all over the room. Every guy in the room had a boner. The females was either turned on or very jealous. Everyone agreed. Later that night, Kim got a knock on her door. It was Ruckus. Kimmie said, what are you doing here? Leave now. No, he said, I want to bite the same thing as the snake. For a moment, Kim wanted some head. 20 minutes prior, she was wishing somebody would come give her head, but not her student. Ruckus was 6'6", felt good about himself because people compared or said he got the same height as Jordan, but he ain't play like him. He looked like he could be Brad Pitt, brother, to describe him. Kim said, how did you find me? Ruckus said, your male, and your desk. Saw your Addy when you went to the restroom. May I come in? No, she said sternly. A voice appeared behind her. We already in. 23 of her male students surround the house. Kimmie had money, so she lived far from other houses. She knew she couldn't win. She starts to lie. I'll let y'all do whatever to my body, but Ruckus, I want you to be the first to put it in. Stroking his ego or making him feel that he was the children, he starts telling everybody to back up on first. Come in the room, and then the rest of you wait in the living room, she says, isolating him from away. She runs to her bed and grabs the Draco. She was at the gun range 4 days a week. She grabs her and starts dumping in the air. Ruckus and the other take off running, not expecting that. She decides not to call the cops. Feeling flattered, she just started to laugh and said, Mark, I really wish you was here. The next day in class, it was only women, 26 of her female students. A young Indian in her class asked where are all the males. Kimmie responded and said they probably all dropped out with a giggle and a little craziness on her face. Two of her students that wasn't there asked what they missed yesterday. Kim responded by saying, body and a red snake. Those who was there started laughing, but stopped very quickly. A few minutes later, Kim tells all the girls what happened to her. And when she was done, they wanted to kill them boys. And they did, each picking a name off the box. And every time they killed one, they said, this is for Mrs. Kim. All of the women with a bond never told Kim, but they started a fraternity, a gang, if you wanted to protect women. Any guy who was in the state who was a rapist or child molester, they killed him. And all the names that never got caught. And they all go see Kim every Monday or Friday. Kim had an idea, but never asked. She later joined them and let it to be continued.